Hi guys, it's Kat all alone today. Gina is enjoying the rest of the summer, but today I thought we'd make a really fun recipe because it is still summer and tomatoes are in season. Today I am making Giada's tomato tart. Doesn't that sound delicious? All right, so the first thing we need to do is prep our tomatoes. So we're gonna take a baking sheet and we're gonna spray some cooking spray, lay down some paper towels. We're gonna take our tomatoes and slice them about 1/8 inch. We're gonna lay each slice on top of the paper towel. And then when that's done, we're gonna lay another paper towel right on top because we're trying to extract as much moisture as we can from the tomato slices because we don't want all that water to go on our puff pastry because we wanna keep it as light and puffy as possible. And the next thing we gotta do is prep our pastry dough. So I have one pastry dough here. What I should have done first, not following directions, is putting in a little flour onto my board, a little flour onto my rolling pin, my tiny rolling pin. We're going to roll that out to about like a 12 by 12 size. Guys, I don't know about you, but I don't know what that means because I don't have a ruler on me. I'm just gonna go by instinct. Okay, so now I'm gonna transfer this onto my baking sheet. All right, so the next thing you need to do is make a border along our puff pastry. About like 3/4 of an inch. Don't cut it all the way through. We just kind of wanna give an indentation so that it has that beautiful effect when it bakes. So the next step we have to do is take a fork and we're gonna make little hole pricks on the outside border because what's going to happen is when it bakes in the oven, it's going to just poof up, and we don't want it to poof up too much. The middle we don't have to worry about because it's going to have all that cheese and all that tomatoes on top. So I'm just going to make a couple pierces here. Next up is the filling, or the cheese as I should say, the yummy part. So okay, in a small bowl we are going to add 1/2 cup of mascarpone cheese, which is a very Giada ingredient. Crumbled goat cheese, diced shallots, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, all right, so now that it's all mixed, we're going to put our cheese sauce right in the middle. Smush it down without tearing our puff pastry. All right, so now that all is spread, we're gonna lay our tomato slices on top, and then we're gonna follow that up with a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and some kosher salt. Pop it in the oven, 375 for 30 to 35 minutes until the edges are nice and golden, but we're not done. We're also gonna turn the broiler on for about 2 to 3 minutes because we wanna get it extra bubbly, get the tomatoes a little charred, get that cheese a little bubbly. So I'll see you back in about 37 minutes. Okay, the tart is still cooking in the oven, but we're gonna get started on our balsamic reduction. So we just need 1/2 cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we're gonna let that simmer at low to medium for about 10 minutes until it's nice and thickened. All right, guys, my tomato tart is out of the oven. Look how gorgeous she is. We put some of that balsamic glaze. You could use chives, but I went ahead and added basil because that just sounded so great with my tomatoes. And a little Maldon salt because I need just a little pop, right? So I'm gonna cut my first little tart. Okay, ooh, it looks good. Depending on how you cut it, it's gonna make about 6 tarts, just because you want those tomato slices, unless you use smaller tomatoes. Ready to do my taste test, and I love Giada and all her food. She just makes everything look so beautiful and so fun, and makes you want to go to Italy, right by the coast, right? All right, tomato tart. So delicious. I can't believe I just made this, and with very minimal ingredients. If I could give you a bite through the lens, I would. This is amazing. The tomatoes become very tart, and they're not wet because we took that step that Giada told us. It is simple but elevated, just like Giada. I wish you guys can taste this. The cheese formed like this ricotta-ness about it and matches greatly with the tomatoes. And the balsamic reduction, divine. Could I have just bought the reduction? Probably. It wasn't my most fun thing to do because my house smelled and I had to watch it because it can get like really reduced really quickly. It's delicious, so easy. If I can make it, you can make it. Join me next week as Gina comes back in the kitchen with me and we try out new recipes that we find online, in cookbooks, anywhere. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
The popping is happening because this frying pan hates me.